Hey guys, I'm Richard Hilton, and today I'm going to show you what each setting on Profit Renegade does and why you want to use it. Now this is going to be a long video, so I'm going to try to go over each function as quickly as possible, and then in a few other videos I'm going to break down into sections to make it a little bit more understandable. So you have your four main controls up here: settings, grid controls, members area, and about. You then have these ancillary points. This is to join or to look at a discussion on our Facebook group. This little one right here with the $sign that flashes when there's a sale that I'm running, either via email or via in-app. There's two ways to get promotions from me, and that's email or the application itself. The in-app application generally gives you a better discount. Now this one here isn't set up yet. This is going to be for the help desk. So whenever you put in a ticket, when you're responded to an answer, this little bell is going to start flashing. When this is completely done, this will be the tutorials. So whenever you're in a specific function, I'll just give you a quick idea. We'll say super pages. So you're using the super page service, or if you have the front and main threads highlighted and then you click on the tutorial, it will open it up to super pages, or if that's what you have loaded, or the front end threads, and explain that to you. So that's going to take a little while to finish up, but meanwhile they're there. Facebook works, and I believe this takes you to the Mobile Renegade, not Profit Renegade, the Mobile Renegade tutorials for now, which there isn't too many yet. This is one of maybe, or this is maybe like the fourth one. The About button is pretty simple. It tells you your version, or the current version you're on, who it's registered to, and if you click Show Pass, it'll show you your password. That's to make your life a little easier if you need to give me any information on Skype. The bug tracker will tell you any current bugs that are currently in it. Update logs. Every time you go to update the software, you're going to see this log, and you're going to have a choice whether you can, or whether you update or not. It's going to be totally up to you. I recommend taking all updates. Show tips. I'm going to put some tips in here for you. Check plugins. I have the legend over here on the side. This is actually a pretty detailed function I have to take out of Mobile Renegade and put into Profit Renegade for you guys. It's not a high priority, so I haven't done it yet. When it's done though, when you click this button, it's going to tell you which plugins you have, which plugins you've purchased, which plugins you are renting, which ones that you own for lifetime, and again, because I like money, I'm going to show you right here anything that I have currently on sale. And help, I guess, is self-explanatory. So we're going to go over to the members area. If you click on members area, that will bring you to the members area. This will bring you to the Zendesk. Actually, I took that function out. That will open up your mail client and send it to the Samurai Blogger support. If you click on buy proxies, it just takes you to the site that I personally buy proxies from. If you click search proxies, it just shows you how to search in Google for what you're looking for. And this proxy software, I made something called Proxy Professor last year or whatever. It's pretty awesome software. One of these days when I have some time, and this is bug free, I'll put the software in here for you. Grid controls. You have import, export. That's self-explanatory. If you have anything in the grid, and you want to export them, you click export. You name the file and you click save. You wait for the green line to go across and it's complete. Import works exactly the same way. You import whatever your CVS file is that you've exported at any point. You wait for the green line to quit flashing, and then you'll see leads in the grid. Sort and clean. These are two separate functions. If you click clean, which it defaults to, you can do anything you want in the grid to clean it. If you click sort, that means exactly what it says. It'll allow you to sort the grid via the header, the column header. And you normally want it to stay on clean. Settings. You have your option settings. That's your main settings for scraping. If you click start over, what that means is if you're in the middle of doing a search and you realize that you don't like the search for whatever reason, maybe you're not getting the results that you're expecting, all you got to do is click stop and then click start over. That'll reset the entire program. Mobile check entire grid does exactly that. It'll take any missing data in the mobile column and it will check it for you. Open mobile emulator, if you click that, it opens the emulator. If you click it again, it closes it. Load domain list is exactly how it sounds. You load a domain list and then you can mobile check it. Email settings, that opens up all your email settings, which we are not going to do on this video. The email's simple yet complicated, so this tutorial right now will not deal with the email settings. So I'm going to click on settings now, and we're going to go to the first option. I'm going to go to options. You have general settings, keyword locations, proxy setup, and USA database. If you notice inside any of these tabs here, when you put your mouse over any one of these functions, you will see this area right here change. So it's like a mini tutorial for every function. Now I've got this for all these tabs, and I believe the entire option setting, but I don't have it set up for the email yet or the POP3. I will as soon as I have some time. Meanwhile, let's walk through these general settings. The very first thing you need to understand are what these three buttons are. And yes, they are buttons. This seems to be the #1 issue that people are having with the software, is they are trying to run the software without clicking this button right here. This is your apply button. If you do not click the apply button after you load your keyword and locations, this software will do nothing. You have to click this apply button. Again, you put in some keywords, you put in some locations, and then you immediately click apply. You will know that you've got it correct when you see this number right here, AQ, go up. I'm going to click apply. See how it said AQ and there's a number there? That means this is ready to scrape. If you do not see this number, that means you did not hit this apply, and that means it is not ready for it to start. You can literally start Profit Renegade in less than 30 seconds. It all depends on how fast you type your keywords and how fast you type your locations. Then you click apply and click start. It's that simple. People, some of you guys are trying to make this too complicated, thinking you got to remember all this stuff. You really don't. I set this up so that you should be able to start this very easily by simply choosing a service, putting in a couple of keywords, putting in a couple of locations, clicking apply, clicking the save settings, and then clicking start. And as you can see, it's already running. That took literally 10 seconds to do, and we're going to start getting data in the grid here. See how this says 2238? It's going to go up here in a moment. I had it on 60 seconds. I was wondering why it was taking so long. That's a good safe setting now for you guys who don't use proxies. But I'm just going to roll it back a little bit and see how it just starts adding them in there. Anyway, I'm going to stop it because that's not the point of this video. It's just to show you how to use the function. So we're going to come back to options. How many pages deep per keyword? It's exactly how it sounds. If you go to any website or any search engine and you type in your search criteria and you hit submit, at the top or the bottom you're going to see page paginations, and that means page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. This is exactly like that. If you wanted to look for your keyword and location 4 pages deep, that basically is the same as you sitting there and clicking page 1 and then page 2 and then page 3. Alright, now that we have some data back in there for you guys to look at. This is where you choose what service you want to run. Depending on what plugins you own or rent will depend on what shows up in here. So you just choose by simply clicking on it, and then that's it. You're set up to run for that service, and you can click the save button here. This is the save button that'll put these threads and your timeout on the best setting that you can use to the best chance you have for running the software for an extended period of time without using any proxies. You have your main threads here, or your front end threads here, your back end threads here, your timeout here, and your timeout here. Now keep in mind, if you're running proxies, you need to have your timeout higher than the timeout of the proxy. So if the proxy has a 20-second timeout, you want to have at least 25. This is your mobile checker. Check for on, uncheck for off. All these threads run independently of each other, including these timeouts. Keyword location. You can load a list. You could type in as many as you want. You click on it once for editing. See how it comes back down here, and I could edit it now. Or you just don't put it back in. Clear list. I think that's self-explanatory, but just in case it wasn't. If you double click on the orange examples, that's going to put some test data in there. And it's just simply for you new users to get an idea of how you should really search for a keyword. Most people put in the word dentist, and that's it. But the truth is, if you really want to search for all the dentists you can, you'd put in a search more along these lines. And the example location is just to show you how it's done. You notice that there's no spaces between the city, the comma, and the state. That's very important. The only place that's not important for is the United Kingdom. If you do United Kingdom searches, you don't need that. Proxy setup. These are all independent of each other. So each one needs to be loaded. You do that by simply clicking on the tab that you want. You right click inside the box, and then you load your proxy list. You can run them independently, so you can have front end proxies but not back end proxies, or no front end proxies and just back end proxies. User agent string, those are another way of saying browser IDs. You can put as many in there as you want. I have 500 preloaded. It's up to you if you want to put more in there or not. I haven't found a need for it. USA database, one of the most overlooked and underused functions in the entire software. In this particular case, we have state, so I'm just going to put in Florida. It has to be an abbreviation, no periods. I'm going to click search, and then I see all the cities in Florida right here on the left hand side. At this point, I'm going to make a choice. My choice for me is I would want the city, so I'm going to click city one time. That's all it takes. This will pop down, and this white box will stay with the data in it until it is done and completed with its job. What it's doing is it is taking all those cities, it is sorting and removing any duplicates, and then it is putting them into the location area for you. Once that is done, you click apply. I'm going to harp on this apply button until I'm blue in the face. You click apply, you wait for the number to pop up, and then you click start. It's that simple. And if you haven't noticed by now, this arrow just closes the center dashboard. So you just close the center dashboard. Additional options, let's go over to that. Don't show plugins on start. Literally, that means exactly what it says. Don't show plugins on start. There's a window that pops up and it runs through your plugins and tells you with what's on and what's not. That has been regulated to this one. I just haven't gotten there yet. See how that just popped in? That's ready to mail now. That's ready to start scraping. Alternate grid row colors. If you check that, you get this. It's just a little bit easier on the eyes for you. Personally, that takes up more RAM. So if you want to look at the grid, put the alternate grid, check that button after you're done scraping. Add grid row lines. Again, it's all about making it a little bit easier for you to read. And yes, you can do alternative grid row colors and add grid row lines at the same time. Here you go. Only keep leads with a website and only keep leads with an email address. That doesn't mean you're only searching for leads with a website. What that means is it's going to search the way it searches, and if it finds 10 with a website and 10 without a website, it's only going to take the 10 that have a website and put it in the grid. Same thing for the email address. Now what's very important is if you want to run the email digger for extra emails, you make sure that you don't have these two checked, because it needs to check against the website, and if there's already an email address in the grid, it's not going to look. There's nothing for it to do. So make sure you don't have either one of these two checked if you're going to run the email digger. Tor, all you do is check it to use it on, or check it to turn it on, and make sure that you have downloaded the Tor Bridge browser to your desktop and turned that on. This won't do anything for you if you don't have the browser, or if you don't have the Tor browser open. I'll explain more about that later. Autosave. I keep mine on 5 minutes. It's a good time. It's a good amount of time. Just keep in mind what it means is it'll take everything in the grid and everything it's going to be searching for, and it's going to save it to disk every X amount of minutes. In this case, 5. You can always at any point click Save Now, and then give it about 15 seconds depending on how much is in the grid to complete the process. Turn off the software, turn it back on later, and it will ask you if you want to continue your search. Hey guys, sorry about that. I got interrupted for a moment and I kind of forgot where I was at. I believe I went over all of the functions for the primary options, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you what the email functions are. Again, I'm not going to show you how to use them. I'm just going to tell you what they are. So I'm going to click on email settings. If you don't see this, email settings, and it's just a bar across, then that means you don't have the email plugin, and the rest of this video isn't going to do anything for you. So in order to mess with the settings, you just or to view the settings, you click on email, and then you click on settings. You have your 3 categories: file settings, filter settings, and POP3 settings. File settings is where you put in your subjects and messages, and you set up a campaign. This is your campaign area. It's very simple. You type in whatever you want, you click add, and now it's created a campaign for you. If you want to delete it, you just highlight, you just make sure it's in this drop down box, and you hit delete campaign or delete queue. Subjects, you just open up a flat text file so it looks like this, and you load it in. Messages, the same exact thing. It has to be a flat text file. You just load it in. There is no additional options at this point. Those are coming soon. And then you come up and you click the apply button. Once you click the apply button, you come over to filter settings, and you type in any email removes that you want or any exclusion filters, and you click apply. Go to your POP3 settings, and the same exact thing. You add in your information, you add in your filters, and you click apply. Now, let me just explain some of the actual options to you. I think this is all self-explanatory. Add if you want to type it in, load list if you want to load a list, clear list, that clears everything in there. Same for over here. POP3 settings. You get this information from your whoever you got your SMTP through, generally speaking through your web host. So you just go to their support, type in POP3 server name, and take that information, copy and paste it in here. Your username and password you're going to have to set up in your ePanel, or in your cPanel. The port is generally 110, but not always. So if it's not working for you, call or look on their support help page and find out what that number is and put the right number in there. And you click add. You can add as many as you want, 37,000 I believe. This remove filters is unlimited. You don't have to put everything in there right away, but the more filters you have in there, the better it works. This is a very short list. You can literally have hundreds of thousands of filters in there. Again, you can add by simply typing something and clicking add, loading the list, or clearing the list. These numbers over here represent how many's in the inbox for whatever's actually showing in this window. So if it's on this one, then you know that these numbers are for this particular account. You can have as many as you want in there, so it just rolls through there, and then these numbers represent whichever is in this actual window right there. You can use all filters, which means it goes through everything here, or you can click download all. If you click download all, that will take everything inside your email box. It'll then turn around and put it into your remove list. so it's up to you the best way to use that. As you can see right in here are some instructions. I have not completed this part yet. As soon as I can find some time, I will put, just like the main options, when you put your mouse over something, this will change and give you the mini tutorial on it. With the email settings, you also have run filters, clean removes, check against master, and send a mailer. Run filters means whatever filters you have, whatever filters you have in this area right here, when you click this button, it will check it against the grid. So anything that's in the exclusion filters will be removed out of the grid. If you click clean removes, it is going to do the same thing. It's going to use this remove list right here, and it's going to take anything that it finds in the grid out of the grid. If you click check against master, it's going to take everything in the grid, check against your master. If it's in the master, it's going to remove it from the grid. When it is done checking and removing everything from the grid, it's going to take everything that's in the grid and put it into the master. So if you click check against master 2 times, you're going to empty the grid out. Send a mailer, you do that after you have your POP3 or your filter and your file settings all set up, as well as your campaigns. Once you have a campaign set up, all you do, and you make sure all your files are set up properly, is you simply click send a mailer, and you will see a green flashing bar across the top. When it is complete, it is done. It's invisible until you click that button. Once you click the button, you'll see it. Now what happened, if that green bar does not disappear, let's say it makes it all the way over here where the mouse is, but it just sits there, that means something went wrong. When you know it works completely and it's ready for mailing, the green bar will disappear. Once the green bar is gone, you're ready to mail. And then you click open mailer, and that has its own set of functions, and I'll explain that in another video. I believe I got all the functions on here except for these labels and these progress bars. These labels, the total is self-explanatory. It's the amount that's in the grid. The emails, that's how many emails are in the actual email column. AQ is the strings that you build to do the search. So when you click apply, it takes all your keywords and location and it builds a nice queue for you. BQ means it's already went to the website or the directory listing, and it has pulled back the data. So whatever number is right here, that's how many leads it has already found and ready to put into the grid. This progress bar right here, this is your overall progress bar. This is your pause progress bar. So you'll see this flashing a lot faster, and that's just to let you know exactly where in the timeout loop you have it set to. And then you have pause and start, so you can start and stop, and you can pause and resume. And if you stop it and you click start over, that will clean everything out of the grid, clean out all, and it will flush your entire queues, and then all you have to do is click start. And I'm pretty sure that that is all the functions for Profit Renegade. There are more coming. Hopefully I didn't make this video too fast for you. Everybody have a great day.